Last night, Hurricane Milton rocked Florida, and today, first responders are finally able to sift through the rubble. The death toll is now up to 13 and expected to rise. Homes are torn to shreds, trees uprooted, and more than 3 million people are without power. The roof of Tropicana Field, where the Tampa Bay Rays play, was completely ripped open. But Floridians aren't in the clear. The waters are filled with gators, downed power lines, and bacteria. If there's a silver lining to this disaster, it's that it probably could have been much worse. Milton downgraded to a Category 3 as it reached the Gulf Coast. But even as a Cat 3, many citizens are without power, food, water, and shelter. Natural disasters are an excellent litmus test for a leader. It tests a leader's decisiveness, organization, anticipation, compassion, and statesmanship. Joe Biden's using Milton to play politics.
Mr. President, have you spoken with former President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Will you hold him accountable? You said you were going to hold those accountable.
Public will hold them accountable. You better in the press hold them accountable because you know the truth.
Biden spent almost as much time talking about Trump as he has the hurricane. He wants to run for re-election so badly, but he can't, and it's driving him nuts. But Kamala's worse. For 3.5 years, she sat on the sidelines for every hurricane while Biden ran the show. She's never been interested in leading. She was assigned to control the border, but she walked away. Just wasn't really her thing. Kamala Harris isn't interested in logistics, resource allocation, data analysis, communications, or anything it takes to handle a crisis. You can't save a drowning person with dreams and aspirations, so she'd rather just have other people take the lead. But she's running for president, and it looks bad that she's sitting on the sidelines while Biden and Trump and DeSantis, handle business. Poor little Kamala's feelings are hurt. She's left out. But the more she tries to help, the more she just gets in the way. Back-to-back hurricanes, she's appointed herself misinformation czar.
It is dangerous. It is unconscionable, frankly, that anyone who would consider themselves a leader would mislead desperate people to the point that those desperate people would not receive the aid to which they are entitled. And that's why I call it dangerous. And we all know it's dangerous. And the gamesmanship has to stop. At some point, the politics have to end.
And Kamala Harris, who's never gotten involved with hurricanes, ever, thinks she has DeSantis on speed dial and picked a fight with him. What a dumb idea.
They put out a story saying I didn't even know she was trying to reach me, but she has no role in this process. And I've been dealing with these storms in Florida under both Trump and Biden. Neither of them ever politicized it. She has never called in Florida. She has never offered any support. So what she's doing is she's trying to inject herself into this because of her political campaign. And for her to try to say that my focus should be on catering to her rather than worrying about my own people just shows she doesn't understand what it means to respond to these natural disasters.
Kamala's not in the chain of command. All she's doing is slowing things down. Right before the first hurricane, she was at a party. Right before the second, she was drinking. Now she wants to wear a windbreaker and be a storm chaser. Not happening. During her Zoom hurricane briefing, Kamala looked bored and then was caught snapping at her staff for handing her talking points during a live broadcast. Listen.
So just really looking at some of the areas in Hillsborough River, Alafaya River, the Peace River, some of these type of traditional places that could flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So.
We're watching Kamala Harris shrink as a leader during hurricane season. She's been overshadowed. Her participation's unnecessary, as most vice presidents are during hurricanes, to be fair. She's only politicized the storm and managed to make herself a nuisance. She failed the leadership test. But if you've been following Harris for the last 4 years, this isn't her first F.